Dirt Everyday Extras go live every weekday on Motor Trend On Demand, and you can see them all with a free 30-day trial at motortrendondemand.com. Here's an example of an episode you missed last week. This Dirt Everyday Extra, we're going to answer some more viewer questions. If you guys have questions, whether it's about your project vehicle or about the show or about just life in general, you can hit us up on Facebook at the Dirt Everyday Facebook page. We also have the Dirt Everyday Extras Facebook page. There's a Dirt Everyday Instagram page, and then I have my own personal pages, which is 4x Fred Williams, 4x Fred Williams, both on Facebook and Instagram. So let's dive right into it. Kevin Greenwell says, Kevin Greenwell has a 91 Dodge W250. He's on 38s, and he noticed a hairline crack in the frame by the steering box and wondered what the best way is to weld it. The Dodge trucks do not have the aftermarket support that the Chevys do, square body Chevys. Off-Road Design offers a steering box brace for the Chevys, and I don't think they offer one for the Dodge. And I actually haven't had them side by side to figure out if you could use the Chevy version on the Dodge. You probably can't. What you're going to want to do is reinforce the frame with some thicker plate, and then maybe add some sort of brace that either runs across the frame to tie both sides of the frame together as some sort of kind of cross member. I know Synergy Manufacturing makes a steering box brace that ties the frame rails together on the newer Dodge trucks, and then it comes off of the sector shaft of the steering box. In fact, my Jeep that's up here beside us on the lift has the new Synergy steering box skid plate and steering box brace support to help stiffen everything up. That early first-gen Dodges with the diesels, like the early 90s trucks, I don't know of anybody offering a steering box brace. You can make one. If there's a crack in the frame, a lot of times I've heard that the best way to deal with cracks is to drill a hole at either end of the crack to keep the crack from spreading, and then welding it, or just adding a thicker plate there through the frame rail or on the frame rail, maybe something a little bit larger footprint, and then drilling the holes and mounting the steering box to that. So I hope that helps you, Kevin. If you come across a company that is actually making a steering box brace, let me know and I'll pass it on to Kevin. Let's see, who else here? Michael, Fred, I'm a broke college student and I need help. Well, Michael, you didn't ask me any sort of question. All you did was give me a statement there that you need help. I guess my advice to all you broke college kids is stay in school and get good grades, and then get out of school and get a really good job. Hopefully you didn't run up too much student debt, and you'll be able to get on with the rest of your life as quickly as possible after you're out of school. If you're in high school and you're thinking about what you're going to do when you graduate from high school, first of all, if you're in high school, stay in school. Graduate, go as far as you can with your high school education. And then when you get out of school, there's lots of different options for you out there. You can go to college, you can get a degree, you can also go to technical and trade schools. There's lots of great jobs out there for kids and for people that are just looking to like jump right into the workforce. I know guys that didn't go to college and they have aftermarket businesses, whether it's welders or plumbers, electricians, started their own mechanic shops. A lot of guys doing really well. I think my advice would be pick something that you like to do and work hard at it, and take a few business classes if you're looking for what your future is going to be. So Michael, you're a broke college student. Stay in school and get out of school and get a job, and then you can get into off-roading. Off-roading is not a cheap hobby. There's ways you can do it inexpensively, but it's not like Frisbee. Like you get a Frisbee and you can play Frisbee. 4x4, it's going to cost time and money, and you're going to need tools and parts. So good luck. Let's see, who's next? Somebody asked, what size Old Man Emo lift did you put on the Junkyard YJ with 35s? We only put a 2-inch lift on that Jeep. Old Man Emu actually doesn't recommend that. They would recommend a smaller tire. I wasn't really too concerned about the tires rubbing. In the future, I would probably trim the fender wells or replace the front fenders and hood, some sort of aftermarket hood. I know Chris Durham Motorsports makes a fiberglass hood that allows a taller tire clearance. Actually, my TJ, which is up here on the lift behind me, has one of those Chris Durham hoods on it. So that's a good way to go if you want not very much lift and a big tire. Another question. This is from Eric. Just wanted to ask you some advice real quick. My name is Eric. I'm be getting out of the Marine Corps in a couple months and stationed in Camp Pendleton, California. And thanks for your service there, Eric. And I have a 97 TJ with a 2.5 4-cylinder, which is just like what my tube sock Jeep used to have, and a 30 RH automatic. Wow, 4-cylinder automatic TJ. I bet that's a dog. And I'm pretty sure 307 gears. Yep, you're probably right. I'm originally from Orlando, Florida, and I'm going to road trip the Jeep back to there when I get out. Besides not doing it, do you have any advice, tips, or cheap upgrades I should do before I go? I don't think you're going to have any problems with your TJ. You're probably not going to be the fastest Jeep on the highway headed back to Florida, but I think you'll have a good time. The nice thing about the 4-cylinder and the automatic is you don't have enough power to hurt anything, and the automatic will kind of protect all the drivetrain downstream. So it really shouldn't have any issues. I would make sure everything is up to snuff, your cooling system, your transmission cooler, if it has one, maybe flush all the fluids through everything and put fresh fluids, oil change, check your tire pressure, air up those tires as much as you can, because running down the highway, you'll appreciate having a stiffer tire. It'll get you a little bit better fuel economy. Any cheap upgrades? Let's see, what else has he said? He's already put on new shocks, tires, wheels, and a winch, and I'm sure it's mechanically sound. I think you're pretty good to go. You'll have a good time. I once drove a 4-cylinder TJ, actually it was a YJ, across America. Actually, it was from Pennsylvania to Colorado, so it was only halfway across America. It was a good trip. It wasn't very fast, but Jeeps are a lot of fun to road trip in because you have the 4-wheel drive ability to kind of go explore back roads. I think that would be my biggest advice is don't be in a rush to get to Florida. First of all, you're not going to be getting there very fast with a 4-cylinder and an automatic. So take your time, have a good time. If you're going from California all the way to Florida, I would go check out Utah. Utah's got lots of great national parks and Moab. Go check out Colorado. Your 4-cylinder automatic will have a good time trying to get over the Rocky Mountains, but it's a gorgeous state to check out. Arizona is pretty neat, depending on the time of year. You might want to steer clear from there if it's the middle of the summer, but if it's later in the year or the fall, you'll have a good time crossing Arizona. Pretty much all of the West is pretty epic. There's amazing stuff to see in America. If you haven't had a chance to kind of road trip across America, whether it's in a Jeep or a truck or whatever you have, go do it. I think it's really worthwhile doing. Time well spent is traveling around the U.S. Let's see, what else do we have here? Rob Fox says, Fred, bring your flat fender to an event you create at Mosquito Pass in Colorado. Deadline, got to do it before it gets snowed out. So Mosquito Pass is one of those high mountain passes in Colorado. I haven't done Mosquito Pass, but that's a great idea. Instead of like finishing my Grampy flat fender project, the one that I kind of do updates on all the time, and getting it done for somebody else's event, maybe I should just plan on doing some sort of adventure in it and then set a date and just set my own deadline and go for that. Maybe if I do that, I'll put a shout out to everybody that Grampy's done and I'm going wherever I'm going with it, and I'll let you all know, and if you want to meet up and go four-wheeling, we can go four-wheeling. What does this guy have to say? Hey Fred, I'm sure you're busy, I'm new to four-wheeling, I went out and I bought myself a 4-door Rubicon. I didn't do enough research, I ended up with an 08 Auto with a 3.8. It has 190,000 miles on the chassis, 60,000 miles on the engine. I got an okay deal because of the mileage, and it's overall in good condition and hasn't been wheeled too much. I owe about $12K on it, just want to know if you think it's worth it to doing upgrades or if I should trade to a newer 3.6. The JKs around 2012 changed from the 3.8 liter V6 to the 3.6 liter V6. And even though the 3.6 is smaller, it's a much better engine. It has more power, it's a lot more fun to drive. The 3.8 is kind of a dog. But I know a lot of people that drive a 3.8 every day and go four-wheeling with a 3.8, and like, if that's what you have, just run with it. I mean, rather than spending more money to get a better engine now, maybe you just try it out and go four-wheeling, see what it'll do. Add a few upgrades over time. Down the road, maybe you can do a V8 swap depending on what state you live in and what aftermarket your local laws allow. But I don't think the 3.8 is terrible. I mean, there's definitely better engines out there, but you can still have a lot of fun with the 3.8. If you find a smoking deal on a 3.6, or if you haven't bought your Jeep yet and you're looking to buy one of the new Wrangler JKs, I would definitely go with the 3.6. I think it's a better engine. So 2012 and newer is the Wranglers that have the 3.6. 2011 back to 2007 are the 3.8. You got it. I say just run with it, Aaron. Don't worry about it too much. Any other questions on here that we didn't touch on? What does this guy have? Hey Fred, I have a 2013 two-door JK, and the first upgrade I wanted to make is a stubby bumper and winch. I was looking at Warn for both, but are their bumpers worth it? I think Warn makes a great product. Most of the winches that I run are Warns. As far as the bumpers, bumpers are kind of like shoes. Like there's shoes that are really good performance stuff, and there's shoes that just look a certain look. And shoes are kind of personal preference. If you like how the Warn bumper looks and it will clear the tires that you want, then go with it. There's some companies that make like a really narrow bumper. Other companies make a big bumper that kind of protects all the way out to the edge of the fenders. I like the narrow bumpers because I like when I'm off-road that the tire is the first thing to hit an obstacle. But it's kind of personal preference. I know Warn makes a good product. If they have the bumper that you like how it looks, then I fully support going that route. Any other questions in here? Let's check the other. See if anybody sent any new messages. No. One more file here. Oh, we got two questions here. I don't know that. Somebody said that on a prior episode I had asked about why don't trucks have tire pressure monitor systems for the trailers. And I had a reader reach out to me and tell me that the new Ford trucks are offering that ability so that you can put tire pressure monitors in your trailer and the tire pressure system on the dash will be able to read that. I haven't actually seen it for myself, but a viewer has reached out and said that that is an option for the Ford trucks. So that's pretty cool. So if you are looking for that attribute and you're looking at a new Ford truck, I would double check and make sure that it actually works that way, but that's kind of cool because then when you're towing, you have the ability to monitor your tire pressure on your trailers, and if a tire starts running low pressure, you can stop and air that up. That's one of the things about trailer tires. You want to run trailer tires at a really high pressure. Trailer tires are usually rated at like 80 to 90 PSI to help support the weight and to reduce heat. That's another thing when you're running any sort of tire. Off-road, you really want to have a lower air pressure so the tire footprint spreads out. On-road, you want to have a higher tire pressure to help dissipate heat. And finally, Fred, why don't you bring your little Jeep to Buzzard Canyon near Sierre, Oklahoma. In March, they usually do an open wheel weekend. I've never heard of Buzzard Canyon near Sierre, Oklahoma, but maybe next March we'll have to come check it out. If not, if you guys live near Sierre, Oklahoma, and you're looking for a place to go four-wheeling, check out Buzzard Canyon. That's it for Dirt Everyday Extras. We will talk to you soon. If you guys have more questions, whether it's about how to cook an awesome omelet in the morning or what color tie goes great with blue slacks for Father's Day, tune in and or send us a message and we'll let you know whatever we think. I don't usually wear ties. If you need more Dirt Everyday Extra, go sign up for a 30-day free trial right now.